for that we are unnecessarily making. If you do certain meditation, for the time being you may have a good feeling. For a certain period it will work. It is just like a river, just like a falls. It is ever flowing and ever changing. That is the real nature of it.
Greetings, Zaya. When the entire spiritual community is advocating for inner transformation, you are saying that there is no inner work at all. Could you please elaborate on this in more depth?
Here also, I am also insisting some inner transformation, but in different aspect. Because psychological factor, we are struggling with the psychological factors. Our ordinary mind is working in a pattern, and that pattern is that we want to establish a good state of mind. Sometimes, according to the pressure of the situation, we may have some agony, pressure, pain, sorrow, some negative emotions will be there. And we want to separate all the emotion and to try to establish a good emotion in spite of that. So we are facing many strategy to separate psychologically. But I straightly against this strategy, against to creating a fixed state. What I am saying that I am also insisting the change. The pattern must be changed, but it is not a struggle. We have to allow. We allow the happening of your functioning of your own mind. So if we think that we have to establish a change, we have to accept manually and by effort. If we create some change, that is a fight against ourselves, because all emotions comes on its own, and we deliberately enter into the realm, and thereby we are trying to separate a different kind of state of experience. And for that we are unnecessarily making a struggle within ourselves. Certain yogic process is somewhat successful. For the time being it was somewhat successful. If you do certain meditation, for the time being you may have a good feeling, good emotion, some feeling of ecstasy, it may be there. But everything is time bounded. For a certain period it will work. But it is not a natural one, it is an artificial one. It is not natural, so we cannot rely upon that. Some way or other, it has to go away from us. But at the same time, we have to understand the natural function of our mind. The liberation is the natural function of our mind. Each and every moment, when we have some experience, it is a kind of laya, it is a kind of structure. But all structure has to go away from us. So then the mano-nasa, the dissolution of the mind is natural. The natural dissolution is known as the liberation. The liberation is the highest state. And it happens if you do not know, if you do not do anything, the natural liberation is there. But in spite of that, we struggle to establish an artificial state of mind. Thereby, we are against the natural flow of our mind. So the natural flow of mind is the correct state. That is the real change must happen. That transformation alone has to happen. But the artificial change is not totally change. That is the real change. That is the natural change. So the natural change is the liberation. It is the ever-changing mind. Moment by moment, it is a changing mind. It is just like a river, just like a falls. It is moving, ever flowing. It is ever flowing and ever changing. That is the real nature of our mind. That is the real transformation. And other transformation through some practice, it is artificial transformation. The artificial transformation is not a worth one.